for the foul. Oh, Juju hasn't left the building because Jaden Daniels is here.
Well, she started the...
Hey, Lil Ju, don't worry about it, shorty. You're not the only one I do that to. The whole entire Commanders fan base be cheesing from ear to ear every time he on the field. But I ain't gonna lie though, Slim. JD5 mother got Hall of Fame shortstop. She ain't going for none of that, Slim. You see how fast she came and said, nah, right between the middle of them cuz. Oh, and before I forget, play my new theme song.
JD5, JD5.
From your man Juan Gotti, you're welcome for hearing the greatest song that you'll ever hear in your life.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like...
Niggas stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now, she's confident.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how this draft expert believes the Washington Commanders will draft this top cornerback at 29 who just ran a 4.3 at the combine and is looked at to be a ball hawk. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so that we greatly appreciate if you haven't reached that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight to it. So, it is officially time to turn the page to the draft. This is the next stop in off season, building the team up for the 2025 campaign. Free agency was a blast, and now it's time for Adam Peters and company to take care of the 2025 draft. So, unlike years past, we're in a new territory, and this is something that we're going to have to get used to with now our team being good and obviously having a star-studded quarterback is going to make us good. So we're no longer going to be in the pick number 2 or top 5, top 10, top 20 even. For the most part, we're going to be picking 25 to 32, and that's going to be our new possibility. I say that to say, in years past, it was very easy to do mock drafts. It was very easy to say, okay, Washington's in on this guy, Washington's in on that guy, because they would typically be at the beginning of the draft. So it's not that hard to guess who they're going to be picking. Now you're at 29, and it's very hard to do consistent mock drafts because you don't know how the board is going to fall. Once again, you're picking at 4, it's but 3 people you can pick before you go. But at 29, bro, it is so hard to try to guess and figure out. But that's why you leave it up to the experts. And Mel Kiper, I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about him. He has the Washington Commanders drafting Max Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky. If you are familiar with that name, he just ran a 4.3, and some have him clocked in at 4.28 at the combine. Now, prior to the combine, Mel Kiper had already had us already picking Max at 29. So, it seems as if the NFL believes Washington needs a cornerback help, or the reality of the situation is Mel Kiper believes that this is going to be the best player available at 29. And as we know, Washington's philosophy this season is going to be draft the best player available. You're no longer drafting for needs because you took care of most of those needs in free agency. You're drafting solely because that guy is going to be the best player available. Now, for me personally, after taking just a few looks at Max, he gives me Mike Sainristil vibes. He's 5'11", he's 183, he's really fast, he's a ball hawk, and he's not afraid to tackle. He has good play rec, he jumps passes, and he has obviously the run after speed to take it the distance. But the thing that I didn't necessarily jump off the charts at me with Max was his size. Again, I mentioned he gives me Mike Sainristil vibes because they're literally identical if you ask me. Both are 5'11", both are 183 pounds. They both play bigger than what they actually are. However, you don't have the necessary size size that you would want to see in a boundary corner. And for that being said, Mel Kiper said this guy would be the perfect option alongside Marshawn Lattimore. But that kind of gives me mixed signals or mixed feelings, because it's like, if you think a 5'11", 183 max Hairston would be a good fit, why can't Mikey do it? And Mikey's already played on the outside. He already has 1 year of experience, and he played damn good on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I was a little bit like, not thrown off about the projection, but a little bit like, nah, I personally wouldn't do that. But again, it's not necessarily drafted for needs. It's drafted for best player available. So if Mel Kiper thinks this is the best player that's going to be available at 29, then it is a scenario in which you could see Washington draft Max. And although I personally think Mike Sanders still should stay on the outside, that doesn't mean that a lot of the personnel in the building that actually is going to be making the decisions believe so. And they brought back Noah Igbenogany. They got Jonathan Jones, and obviously Mikey Sanders doesn't have to play on the outside. He can go back into the slot if they do so choose. But the moves that they made thus far this offseason has hinted at Mike Sanders still staying on the outside. Noah Igbenogany thrives in the slot. He played really well in the slot last year, hence why he got re-signed. And Jonathan Jones can play on the outside and in the slot as well, but he's shorter than Mike Sanders still. He's like 5'10", 5'9". So do you really want to have a 5'9" boundary corner out there? And y'all have already complained about size, the lack thereof, from Mike Sanders still. So do you really want to have a 5'9" corner out there? Nah. So it kind of points in the direction of Mike Sanders still standing on the outside, unless they do decide to go with a guy like Max Hairston. So now taking a look at this article that has Mel Kiper reason for Washington selecting Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. He says this: Maxwell Hairston also was my projected pick for the Commanders before the combine. It makes sense. Washington is in win now mode, and the cornerback remains a question mark even after the team traded for Marshawn Lattimore at the deadline last year. The Commanders signed Jonathan Jones and Noah Igbenogany to replace Benjamin St. Juste, but Hairston could still work his way into a starter role on the outside. He can create takeaways, 6 INTs over the past 2 seasons, and he ran a 4.28 at the combine, the fastest 40-yard dash across all positions this year. Figuring out the outside corner spot would allow Mikey Sanders still to settle back into the slot where he's best. So that's Mel Kiper's reason for us drafting Max. One thing I will give Mel Kiper credit for is him doubling down on his projection even after the combine. It's very easy to switch prior to and after the combine, but he said, nah, I think Washington's going to go cornerback here at 29. What I will say to that, though, is kind of my rebuttal. I genuinely think, and y'all know I've been saying this, and I've been battling everyone in the comment section that is against this, which is fine. You can be against my take. There's nothing wrong with that. But I genuinely think the cornerback room is fine. Like, I think our 3 starters were good. I just think we needed to have depth and have guys that could step in just in case of injury and etc. Remember, last year we had Michael Davis playing meaningful snaps in the game versus Atlanta. We had Benjamin St. Juste on special teams. Benjamin St. Juste having to come in times where we didn't really want him to see the field. And that was our biggest issue. But when it was the starting 3 cornerbacks and Marshawn Lattimore, and when he was healthy for the little time, and Mike Sanders still, and Noah Igbenogany, the secondary, the cornerbacks were solid. And I just think we need guys that, if we want to go 4 corners, if we want to, have a guy take a breather, we need guys that we can rely on to step in. And that's why we went out and got a Jonathan Jones. That's why we re-signed Noah Igbenogany, obviously. So I wouldn't necessarily be upset at this pick. I'm not upset at anything that we do at 29 because, again, it's very hard to predict what we do. I know I may sound hypocritical because I'm against drafting of what we need, but if Omarion Hampton's at 29, bro, I genuinely just think you can't pass up on that. Now, I know a lot of people don't think he's going to be there at 29, but again, how do you know how the board is going to fall? It's very easy to tell if you're a top 5, top 10 team picking, but we're at 29. And Maxwell Hairston may not even be there now. It's a strong possibility that he's there. And if he is, then we take him, welcome aboard. But continuing on with the article, it says, Hairston is a speedster with natural instincts. He is an opportunist, defensive back with a sound football IQ. This might bring back memories of Emmanuel Forbes Jr. I was just going to bring that up. He's an undersized defensive back, but there would be much pressure on a player to immediately contribute with Washington other options on the depth chart. So I was just going to say that. Last time we took a cornerback in the first round, it was Emmanuel Forbes, and he was undersized, and we took him because he was solely a ball hawk, and we needed a cornerback on this roster that can help get turnovers. That obviously didn't pan out with Emmanuel Forbes getting cut and not being here no longer. However, what I would say the difference is, one, this is a different regime, this is a different coaching staff, and two, as they mentioned, he's not going to be coming in and expecting to start day one. Emmanuel Forbes, unfortunately, had to come in and had to start day one due to the fact that, one, he was drafted at 16, and two, we needed that need desperately. But with the re-signings and with the starters that we already have in place, in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case for Maxwell. Now, here what I will say, what could make sense. Say at 29, we take Max, and he kind of develops behind Marshawn Lattimore, and he develops behind Mikey Sanders. He still plays, but he's not keen on being a starter right off the rip. And then next year at 2026, we let Noah Igbenogany walk. And that's year 3 of Mikey. That's another year of Marshawn Lattimore, assuming that he's still going to be around. Maybe that's the year that Max, steps on that corner, that CB2 outside role. Now, that could make sense. That would be really good because now you're projecting into the future of a young, talented cornerback who's 21 years old right now. He'll be 22 in his year 2. And that's a guy that you can kind of kill 2 birds in one stone. So then you have 2 young cornerbacks still led by a veteran and a guy that's still hooping in Marshawn Lattimore. That would make sense. I'm not going to lie to you. So unless we're going with that mindset, I probably wouldn't necessarily want us to do this, but again, if my Mel Kiper's projecting him to be BPA at this time, I'm not gonna go against that because he is really good. I see the vision, I see the potential. He's not no trash guy. I don't want y'all to misconstrue my words and saying I don't want him because he's not good. I genuinely think Maxwell is good. I'm just thinking more so from a person that's going to contribute day one. I like where we're at the cornerback position as far as our starting contributors. But as far as the depth goes, it needs to be improved, which we did. But like I said, the last option, if it's to invest in the future of the team, and Maxwell isn't expected to come start day one, and he can sit behind our starters and learn and get better, and then year 2, you don't re-sign Noah Igbenogany and let him walk in free agency, and then you put Max on the CB2 and put Mikey back on the inside, that would probably be good. Although I'm a big fan of Mikey being on the inside, being on the outside, that would make sense if we was to do it like that. But let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. A lot of you all are deep into college football more than myself, so you can enlighten me and educate me as well in the comment section. What do you think about Maxwell Hairston coming to Washington, Kentucky, cornerback, 5'11", 183 pounds, 6 interceptions over the last 2 years of his career. Mel Kiper, draft expert, has Washington drafting him at 29. Do you like it? Leave it down below in the comment section. As always, be aware, Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. One road to 10,000 subscribers. We greatly appreciate if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave a one. Ballin' like I'm D-Sean, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.